Before every court session, Barry eats a frog to enhance his ability to hypnotize others. Right after that, he uses his identity as a lawyer to release an energy called pheromones while defending criminals. Ordinary people can't see this energy Barry releases, but it confuses the jury and witnesses. This way, he gets criminals acquitted of all charges. As a result, Barry never loses a case he takes on. One day, Nidaria got into an argument with his wife because she had gained 5 pounds recently. His wife said she was willing to lose weight, but Nidaria still refused to let it go. In a fit of intense emotion, Nidaria suddenly took on his lion monster form. Little did he know, his wife was actually a rat monster. Nidaria pushed his wife off the building and she died instantly. Meanwhile, the whole process of Nidaria's murder was witnessed by their maid, Vera. A few days later, the trial for Nidaria's wife's murder began. This was supposed to be an open and shut case with conclusive evidence. But there was a twist after the trial started. As it happens, Nidaria had hired Barry, Portland's top lawyer. Under Barry's defense, Nidaria was portrayed as a perfect husband, while his deceased wife was described as a mentally ill person who jumped off the building. At first, this argument didn't move the jury, but Barry kept releasing pheromones, hypnotizing all the jury members, including Rosalie, the fox monster. Under the influence of the pheromones, an idea that Nidaria was innocent popped up in their minds, involuntarily. After the recess, a tired Rosalie returned to the spice shop. Eddie thought she was sick because she looked so worn out. But Rosalie told him about her strange experience in court that day. She couldn't believe she had developed a different opinion about this open and shut case. Even now, Barry's powerful defense still echoed in her head. When Eddie heard this, he felt something was wrong. So, during the second court session, Eddie accompanied Rosalie to the court. When Vera took the stand to testify against Nidaria's crime, Barry launched his defense again. Under the influence of his invisible and deadly charm, Vera's memory seemed to be tampered with. She then recanted her previous testimony, claiming she had seen Nidaria's wife jump off the building herself. As the witness changed her testimony, the case became confusing again, and the judge declared another 1-hour recess. Eddie and Rosalie exchanged a glance. They both sensed something was off about Barry, so Eddie quietly followed Barry to the bathroom, trying to find out what kind of monster he was. Just then, a rare frog suddenly hopped out at an inopportune moment. Seeing the frog, Eddie immediately guessed Barry's identity, a goat monster, because this kind of rare frog can provide energy to goat monsters. Sure enough, after Barry ate the frog, he revealed his true form as a goat monster. Eddie immediately called Nick and told him the entire story of the case. Soon after Nick and Hank arrived, Hank had long heard of Barry's name. He was a legend in Portland's legal circle. He just never thought that the reason Barry won every case he took was entirely due to his monster abilities. When the trial resumed, Detective Wu, who had handled the case initially, was also called to testify in court. Although Hank knew how powerful goat monsters were, he had great faith in Wu. He was an upright detective and should not be confused by the goat monster. Then, Wu said that when he arrived at the scene that day, he saw no sorrow on Nidaria's face, only a look of ferocity. In most of the murder cases he had seen before, murderers had this kind of expression right after killing someone. When it was Barry's turn to defend, he resorted to his old trick again. His invisible charm surrounded Wu completely. Wu's originally firm eyes gradually became confused. When he recalled that night's experience again, Nidaria in his memory was clearly deeply distressed and full of guilt. Immediately after, Wu also recanted his statement, saying he had remembered it wrong just now. At this moment, Nick and the others realized that no one could resist the ability Barry released. That night, they all gathered at the spice shop. The final trial was tomorrow, and none of them wanted to see the criminal go unpunished. Rosalie found a way in the ancient books. There is a unique gland in a goat monster's brain that controls the release of pheromones. After eating that kind of frog, this gland works overtime, greatly increasing the efficiency of pheromone secretion. So, as long as that gland is destroyed, the goat monster can no longer release its ability. There is a potion that can destroy the goat monster's gland, but it needs Barry's own sweat as an ingredient. Just then, Nick suddenly thought of a plan and looked at Eddie. That night, Barry went to a bar. After he swallowed a frog, he quickly hooked up with a beautiful woman. However, just as he was about to take the woman home, a ferocious werewolf suddenly rushed out. Barry was terrified and immediately left the woman and ran away in his true form. The woman was about to call the police when policemen took the initiative to arrive. This whole thing was a trap Nick had set for Barry. Barry was chased by the werewolf for several blocks and couldn't get rid of him. He was already covered in sweat and exhausted. Just then, a plumber was about to drive away. Barry hurriedly revealed his goat monster form and begged the plumber, who was also a monster, for help. The plumber was also startled by the werewolf and quickly let Barry get in the car. Little did Barry know, the plumber Bard was also Nick's friend, having just survived a near-death experience. The two naturally drew closer. Seeing Barry covered in sweat, Bard kindly handed him a handkerchief. This was the key to the plan. Unprepared, Barry took the handkerchief and wiped his sweat. When they reached a safe road, Barry thanked Bard again. But Bard suddenly asked for the handkerchief back, which immediately aroused Barry's suspicion. Fortunately, Bard lied that the handkerchief was a token of love from his wife and couldn't be given away easily, so he got the handkerchief back from Barry. Barry still felt a little confused, but he couldn't figure out what was wrong. After Bard sent the handkerchief to the pharmacy, Rosalie immediately started making the potion. But now they faced a new problem: how to inject the potion into a frog and ensure Barry would eat it successfully. The next day, Nick and Hank went to Barry's house to keep him occupied on the pretext of investigating the attack the previous night. Meanwhile, Eddie sneaked into the house and successfully found Barry's briefcase. But when he opened it, he found that Barry had prepared 2 frogs. However, he only had 1 dose of the potion, and it couldn't be split. Just as Eddie was about to choose one randomly, the frog in the bottle suddenly jumped out and hopped all the way to the living room.